Hi all, this is Andrew Lang here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks in ATM101 Weather and Climate of Alaska. These will be my Unit 10 observations and some of the stats thereof. Here we have some of our GOES imagery showing both the normal TV weather maps, that's actually not the imagery. Then we have the visible, the infrared, and the water vapor imagery. As you can see, these each depict different things. Of course, the state of Alaska is artificially outlined to make it more visible. Next slide. Okay, so now we're just going to have a subsequent series of slides of the weather moving through the area. My location was in Fairbanks. Here's the state of Alaska. So about here. Starting on Monday, March 19th, Fairbanks and the surrounding area was experiencing several low systems and some precipitation. There was, I believe, some light snow at the time. Moving on to Tuesday, still a low, but things have moved. Here's Fairbanks right about here where this cursor is again. Very much in the middle of a low, however, we do have a warm front beginning to show up. By Wednesday, March 21st, now we have a high going on, and this was also met with clear skies at my observation site, and generally fair weather. Some days there were slight amounts of wind, but nothing severe or strong or what would be considered a storm. Again, high pressure by that Thursday. Here again, Fairbanks would be located right about here, so very much within the influence of the high pressure system. Here's the Aleutian low going on over here, and here's some other low systems. Finally, here would be Fairbanks again on Friday, and at this time it's difficult to tell what it is under, but it appears to be under the influence of a low pressure by then, and a low pressure on Saturday. And finally on Sunday, although I had finished my observations by Sunday, it was between a high and a low, but mostly under the influence of a high-pressure system. My observation location, here's the University of Alaska Fairbanks campus, well, most of it, would have been right about where this cursor is, on one of the north bike trails, a fairly sheltered area where the thermometer would not experience direct sunlight, being in a grove of trees. The only disadvantage to this observation site was that it was difficult to discern wind direction because there was nothing visible. However, I was able to use a compass and feeling the wind on my face and on a wicked finger to determine wind direction on some days. Although the spot was in the trees, I was able to walk just a short distance to get a clear view of the sky to observe what types of clouds were there. Okay, so now we have our air temperature plot. These would be my station observations here, and the more pronounced lines here would be comparing them with the observations from the National Weather Service. Now, the nearest National Weather Service observation station would be about 3 miles away from the location at Fairbanks International Airport. They take measurements on an hourly basis, not a daily basis, hence a large reason for more of the variability in these lines is that there is simply more information than my once daily observations. However, noting this, a persistence forecast, give or take 5 degrees, would not be accurate at all, even through Thursday. There is simply too much variability from day to day. Similarly, through Saturday, it might be weakly accurate for some of the highs, but even for the lows, it was not accurate at all, actually, considering even the National Weather Service and my own observations. So a persistence forecast would not work well in this case. Now we have our humidity plot. These appear to be National Weather Service. Actually, they both are because we did not observe humidity at our location. So just some extra trivia there. Barometric pressure, I did observe. The more flat line would be my observations. And then we have the National Weather Service observations. I'm not sure why mine does not continue to show up. However, I did observe that there was not very much of a variance. Generally speaking, as I was taking the observations, they were within 20 millibars of each other the entire time. So I was actually quite surprised to learn when looking at the maps that a low pressure system moved through the area during the beginning of the week, which does make me question the accuracy of my barometer or if I have a potential user error in operating it. Finally, here's a sample worksheet. This would be an example of the worksheets we use. These were handwritten, however, this is a PDF version. I have my date, my time in 24-hour time of the observation, so this would be in the afternoon. Daylight time now, our location, our current temperature at the time of the observation for 2 thermistors on a digital thermometer, the max temperature observed by both within the last 24 hours, and the minimum temperature observed by both within the last 24 hours. Here is that barometer I use measures in inches of mercury, so to get my millibars, I measured this by multiplying it by 33.9. On this particular day, which would have been the 24th, wind would have had a Beaufort number of 2 and a southwest direction, so just a very light breeze. Not light air, but not a strong wind either. On this particular day, there would have been no clouds at all, and no sky cover, hence this, and obviously as a result, no precipitation. I took a history from the thermometer of the past 6 days of high and low temperatures observed by its respective thermistors, a left thermistor and a right thermistor, which can be seen here. During several days of the week, some cirrus or, I believe, nimbostratus, yes, clouds did appear. However, the sky never appeared to be completely covered. On most days there was some cloud cover, but it was a broken sky, whereas other days the sky was completely clear. Given this, I was actually quite surprised to learn that a low pressure system moved through the area, as low pressure systems are generally associated with less than fair weather. Thank you very much for watching. This has been my Unit 10 observations and analysis. Have a good day.